Did you ever hear of this movie, The Borrowers? And it was those little people in the drawers? Because when I was a kid, and my mom would be at the store, and you know how your mom would always get stuck talking to people for like an hour at the store when you would go out wherever. I would wish always that I had like one of those little people in my pocket that I could just hang out with while I was waiting for my mom to stop talking. Or just a little friend any old time. But that all kind of came back that day when I was in college and I had a project due for my painting class, and I painted my canvas black. I had a big canvas and I painted it black. Sat there and stared at it for a long time. And I drew one of the little guy in the bottom of the canvas, but really I drew it just like because I was there by myself, and I drew it like if somebody to help me, you know. And he sat there in the corner of the canvas, and I stared at him for a while. And then I drew a guy standing on his head, and then it just grew from there. Friends, I called them friends. I did this painting that was all these people on top of each other, and it was really cool. It wasn't really as graphic as what these are now, but then after I graduated, that was probably my senior year, but after I graduated and I didn't have a studio to work in, I started doing them real small with just ink pens. These are more like stencils. These are the ones that I make them into mobiles. Things that hang from the ceiling. This is new compared to everything else because like I did the paintings first, and then I started doing the ink drawings, and then I started making prints of that stuff, and that's when I started mass producing to the mugs and t-shirts and cards. The mobiles, like this April, will be 2 years old. I think the first one I made was for a show, cut them on a black mat board. So that was the first one I made of the mobiles for that show, because it was the first time I started cutting them out like this to put on the wall. And it was a group show where everybody had their own space, and I wanted my space to be different than everybody else's. So I started cutting them out, and I put them all over the wall, that they've come to be known as the Wee People, because they may not always be the Wee People. What everybody seems to relate to is it's like a universal theme of working together and being as one. It's, you know, stronger than a single person. Yeah, because one is fun, but you know, you get a whole bunch of them and you can really make something happen. Just like people. But also like ants, because they are like the black and white especially.